Yo, what up, Street Talks? There, Kim. Alright, so a thought. Do you need to be scared, or should you be scared, or, you don't need to be scared? So, this is my basic thought. So, right now, I think a lot of us kind of feel like it's somehow our duty to be scared. That if you're somehow not scared, you're an evil, despicable person, and you're gonna cause death and pandemonium everybody else. And I think that's a little bit silly. So the question is, do you need to be afraid? Okay, so let's extrapolate. So let's say coronavirus, COVID was even more infectious. Imagine like straight up like zombie apocalypse or vampire apocalypse, where any human being touches you, you get it. You touch any surface, you get it, like 100% transmission rate. And let's actually say, it's far more deadly, because I think coronavirus right now, it's like, if you get it, you're not 100% likely to, you're not 100% guaranteed to get it, but if you get it, then that means the death rate is around like 2%. If you get it, it's around 2%. Actually, it might be a little bit less, but I'm just estimating. And so, let's say it was far worse. Let's say it's like a 50% death rate. Let's say that's like far more dramatic. But let's say if you get if you got this new mysterious virus, let's call it the Budweiser disease. So let's say you get the Budweiser disease, and you get it. If it's literally on any surface, it's in the, let's say it's airborne, right? Like, I Am Legend, right? The zombie apocalypse, you can even give it's airborne, which is kind of crazy. So let's say it's airborne, 50% chance getting it. Then the question comes, like, literally, would you leave your house? Or let's say it wasn't airborne, it was just on surfaces. But then if you touch a surface that you have a chance of getting it, you have 50% chance of getting it, or you had 100% chance of getting it, 50% chance of dying, would you just leave your house and your apartment? So this is actually just kind of more of an existential question, is that obviously there's always some sort of level of risk of illness or death when you leave the house, basically. And the question is, how much are you willing to brave? How much are you willing to risk? And how much do you appreciate just life and being outdoors and stuff like that? So then it just kind of makes you question, like, what's a real life? What's a good life? So if you had to live the rest of your life in a bunker, but you had a 100% chance of living, would you live in the bunker? So obviously I don't have the answer for you, but for me, if I had the choice of living in a bunker for the rest of my life and living to be 120 years old and kind of feeling anxious, depressed, miserable, whatever, or I had the option of living just, maybe let's say another 20 years, but just leaving the house and walking and looking outdoors, looking at trees and stuff. I would actually probably choose the tree option. So then it just kind of makes you wonder, it's like, what's the point of being alive? What's the point of existence? Could you live a meaningful life if you just lived inside a bunker for the rest of your life? And if you had the option, I don't think so. I mean, unless the government like welds our doors shut and actually does mandate us to stay, to make it like a legal law that if you leave your house, like you literally cannot leave your house. But still, like, people's walking their dogs and walking in the park and stuff like that. So I think we's good. So once again, the question comes, how much do you personally value your freedom? How much do you value being outdoors, and what does it mean to be alive? I think to be alive is to stand. Like, one of my friends, his name is Jeffrey Lamb, search him on Medium. He's pioneering a field called existential health, which is really interesting. And I'm kind of like extrapolating on that idea, kind of like the notion of like existential work, or just existential, just what does it mean to exist? So I studied a little bit the etymology. It's kind of interesting. So essentially the etymology of existence, or to exist, or exist, it's like existio or something like that, and it comes from the Proto-Indo-European S-T-E-H, like ste or something, and essentially it literally means to stand. So to be a human is to stand erect. So if you're a human standing erect, then you are a human being. And also I think then if we think about what it means to exist, certainly what it means to be a human to exist is just to be outdoors, to walk around and just kind of like look at stuff. So even looking at all these nice trees, you know, kind of got dogs playing in the park, which is kind of fun. And so yeah, for me, a life where I couldn't leave the house, I couldn't do nothing, wouldn't be a life worth living to me. So essentially, insofar much as, you know, within legal bounds, right? Because you know, you also don't want to break the law. Yeah, walk as much as you can, stand as much as you can, get as much sunlight as you can, talk to people as much as you can, keep exercising, keep working out, and keep standing. So to exist means to be in an embodied reality, to literally stand somewhere, and to exist is to assert your existence. And how does one assert their existence? By, you know, metaphorically standing up for what one believes in, like not budging, not refusing to sit down or refusing to kneel or refusing to bow down before some other power. Like I recently reread the 300 comic by Frank Miller. You know, the mutant dude who betrays the Spartans, and he goes to Xerxes like, oh, I promise you riches, blah blah, all I do is I command you to kneel in front of me. And so this is where human dignity, human self-respect is important, because we shouldn't kneel before anybody else in terms of compromising our morals or ethics or standards, our own personal beliefs. So yeah, just think, what do you stand for and what won't you stand for? Like what are your own personal non-compromising things in life? So for myself, I don't want anybody to control my body, to like physically prevent my body from going outdoors, and yeah, to just have bodily freedom, freedom of speech. Enjoying these nice little plants, nice little planty friends. I love the green. It's just like, thank God the COVID is starting in the beginning of spring, where nature doesn't care. Nature is just trekking on just fine. Look, there's people walking their dogs. It's okay. Yeah, so stand up for what you believe in. Physically stand more. If you're working from home, do a standing desk. Even stand and work on your phone or your iPad, whatever. I think standing computing is the future and kind of where it's at. And yeah, work for existential reasons. You exist, you're alive, you exist. Create and work on things that you personally care about, what you're philosophically interested in, and let us continue to philosophize on.